The next postgame show is presented by Tri-State Audi. Visit your Tri-State area Audi dealer today. Carl Anthony went to towns again tonight. Dominant performance against Milwaukee. 32 points, 27 in the first half. Knicks never trailed, led by 19 at the break, and never looked back in beating the Bucks 116-94. Great to have you with us. Bill Pidto here, along with Wally Szczerbiak. And Wally, this box score should be framed if you're a Knick coach or a Knick fan. 35 assists on 43 made field goals. Whew. Again, every starter in double figures. So for the 7th time in 8 games, every Knicks starter scores in double figures. And the Knicks committed only 7 turnovers.
It's a clinic. That's what it is. Just an offensive clinic. The ball movement is outstanding. All 5 guys trying to make each other better. The new wave of the NBA is get guys out there that can shoot the 3 and space the floor, and the Knicks have that, and they're using it, and their offense led by Karl Anthony Towns was outstanding tonight. Boy, did he come out on his home floor, set the tone early, 27 points in the first half, just dominated his matchup all night long. It's good to see him in a Knick uniform.
All right, so the Knicks were up by 19 at the half, and the Bucks got no closer than 15 the rest of the way. Normally get a little pushback in this league, not tonight. Knicks took control in the first half, and it was easy peasy from then on.
Well, they knew the Bucks were coming off a nice win, and they were on a back-to-back. So they played last night, won by 23. But Karl Anthony Towns, when you come out with this type of focus, Allen asked him about it, and he mentioned it in the Atlanta game, that he wanted to get his team off to better starts. The tone was absolutely set for this game, that it was going to be a complete domination by Karl Anthony Towns and company. Brook Lopez is getting up there in age, doesn't like chasing people around the three-point line, can't move his feet up there on the perimeter, and Karl Anthony Towns took advantage of that, went by him multiple times, finished around the rim. How about Tyler Kolek? Outstanding minutes again. Nice drive to the basket, really good off the bench, 8 points, 3 for 5, nailed his threes, 2 for 4 from the three-point line. There's more of the ball movement, 35 assists, like you said, on 43 field goals, and only 7 turnovers. That is outstanding basketball if you are a coach. You love seeing that.
You see the numbers there as the Knicks dominate the Milwaukee Bucks to improve to 4-4 on the season. Monica McNutt now joins us, helped call the game on the radio, ESPN New York. Monica, a little bit less stress than the last couple of nights on that road trip, that's for sure.
Everybody's nice and calm, and Wally just stole the point that is the highlight for me, which is the 7 turnovers tonight. Listen, that is excellent use in terms of taking care of the basketball. And I would venture to say, don't quote me on this, but I think before you got to growth minutes with some of those second-unit guys off the bench, it was actually 5 turnovers. And so the starters did a great job of taking care of the basketball and capitalizing on the mistakes made by the Milwaukee Bucks.
Monica, let's just go back to the bench. Obviously, that's been a big question. There have been games, 2 games ago, only 3 points off the bench, but it seems like Coach Thibodeau is starting to trust some of those younger guys coming in to play meaningful minutes.
You know, Wally, there's this saying that if you don't slow down, sometimes life will slow you down, right? And so, yes, we know that that's maybe not Tibbs' first instinct, but with the roster in its current shape, life has dictated that you're going to have an opportunity to get some valuable minutes for guys that you may need until you can get this roster healthy. And so I think to that end, though, you're seeing guys take those minutes seriously. Tyler Kolek, who you mentioned, was fantastic. I think that there's something to Ariel Hakporti. I think Jericho Sims is coming along nicely. While the stats are out there about the shots that he has not taken, I'm going to translate that to playing to his strengths in terms of knowing that he's in the game to rebound and defend primarily.
Also, Monica Deuce McBride, 14 points off the bench. In 8 games the Knicks have played, in 6 of those, McBride has been in double figures off the bench. Karl Anthony Towns, we talked about it at the half. How important was his assertiveness in the first quarter? 13 points in the first quarter to get the Knicks off to that great start.
Set the tone, Pidto. Absolutely set the tone, not just for his teammates, but even here in the arena, right? You could hear the arena reacting. Who doesn't react to 3 big-time dunks when the lane has parted as if it was the Red Sea? And so that is hugely important. While this team is still figuring out some things defensively, you know that Karl Anthony Towns is here because of the versatility that he brings on the defensive end. Not only did he score rocking the rim, but he also got involved from the three-point line. He also had that little, on the right side, I believe, he had that little short pull-up jump shot where he got made it a three-point play. And so he's showing you his versatility offensively, and the defensive effort is also going to continue to come. Giannis, he's a force to be reckoned with, but I thought the Knicks did a decent job of protecting the paint overall, and they get out of here with a good win. They've been able to share the basketball offensively from not just the starters down to the bench guys.
Monica, this is the fourth time the Knicks have held an opponent under 100 points in this high-scoring NBA. What did you see out of their defense tonight?
Well, I thought they did a much better job with the second and third efforts. That's something that has been thematic through the first 5 games for sure. It was definitely something that was lost in Houston and Atlanta. And so I thought tonight, you know what you're dealing with Giannis Antetokounmpo. And while I think OG Anunoby was frustrated a little bit with the fouls that he picked up early, and there were certainly moments where Josh Hart thought that there was contact that should have been deemed illegal, I thought they did a good job of standing their ground. And sometimes, and Wally, you know this, sometimes in basketball, the best defense is just beat by really good offense. And so if your scouting report is to do your best to make a player uncomfortable, no matter how good they are, and you can get through it without fouling and remain on the floor, then you're doing a solid job. Ultimately, the Knicks were the better team tonight, despite Giannis Antetokounmpo having some eye-popping plays, which a guy like him is just going to do.
Giannis tonight, 24 points in the loss. Monica, thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you soon.
No problem.
You guys are talking about the intangibles. Second chance points, huge for the Knicks. 18, Bucks only had 8.
I'll tell you, another guy we don't give enough credit to is Josh Hart. He's been off to a great start this season. In the preseason, he was trying to figure out his role, but he has stepped up in every game and given you exactly what you need from him on this team. Just the heart. The heart of this team is Josh Hart, no pun intended. He does everything to help him win. He's knocking down those threes when he gets them. Teams dare him to shoot. He's taking it with confidence. He's making that shot every once in a while, and that's what he has to do to keep that defense honest. He's been very important to this Knicks start of the season. He's been playing really good basketball.
Hart tonight, 11 points, 9 rebounds, 7 assists.
There you go. Always the triple-double.
Always fills up the box score, right? All right, Tom Thibodeau's got to be a happy Knicks coach as his team dominates Milwaukee. Saying hello to his old pal, Doc Rivers. He was on the Boston staff. Tibbs was when they won the title under Rivers. Stay with us, everybody. Welcome back, everyone. The Knicks never trail tonight and blow out Milwaukee 116-94. Back now from the Corner 3, presented by Michelob Ultra Superior Light Beer. Next up for the Knicks are at the Pacers on Sunday. Pregame at 4:30, game at 5. Then Tuesday, it's the Knicks' first game in the NBA Cup. They're at Philly. It's a national TV game. You can listen on ESPN New York. And after that, the Knicks return for 4 games in a row at MSG. Time now to listen in to the postgame comments from Knicks coach Tom Thibodeau, presented by Chase.
Yeah, I thought the start of the game was important for us. I thought we played with a really good pace. I thought guys, were looking for each other. I thought they saw the floor really well. And when you have vision of everyone and you can recognize things, I think you end up getting a good rhythm from that. I liked how we played. I thought we shared the ball. We made plays. We got people open. We screened well. We did a lot of little things. And then I thought OG and Mikhail really helped set the tone for us defensively with tough matchups, and Josh as well. And I think that's important. I thought Jalen played a great floor game, and I think that was important. I thought our bench came in and did a good job as well. And it's a good, solid win. It's improvement, and that's what we're shooting for every day. Just keep getting better.
I mean, you say guys like Giannis, use your whole team.
Yeah.
But the job that OG did to make it just what makes OG capable of keeping it
Yeah, Joe, I tell you, OG's very unique in the sense that, he's got strength, he's got speed, he's got anticipation, he's got a second, third effort mentality, and I think that goes a long way. A lot of the things that he does for the team really go unnoticed, but I think his teammates have great appreciation for him, certainly the coaching staff, organization. You can't measure all the little things in every possession that he does, and the same with Mikhail. Mikhail takes on whoever the primary ball handler is, and he works at it all game long, and he keeps coming. And I think that says a lot about him. And Josh is going to hustle, get to loose balls, and push the pace, and do what he does. And if we do that, and everyone plays to their strengths, and everyone commits to playing defense, we can be good. But we know right now we're shorthanded, so we have to play real hard, and we got to rebound the ball. And so we have to do that as a team, and if we do that, good things will come from it.
You mentioned the passing, and a lot of threes was up. Not a great percentage, but it felt like every three was generated out of like a deep paint touch. And
Yeah.
I feel like you like that process, and that's something that hasn't always been there the last few games, of getting deep and getting those good reads.
Yeah, I don't know if it hasn't been there. I think the numbers will tell you it has been there. So, I obviously watch the games, and so I think the relocation has been good. The deep paint, driving off cutters' backs and stuff like that, things that generate threes, I think we've done a good job with. And I've mentioned this to our team. Offensively, I think we're fine. We're scoring plenty. The offensive rating says what we are. The field goal percentage says what we are. Three-point percentage says what we are. Free throw percentage says what we are, right? And the volume has to go up. And so when we play fast, we're more dangerous. And then, we have to rebound so we can get out and run.
When you have so many new players and chemistry takes a while, and Doc was even talking beforehand about how, with you guys having new players, how hard it must be, but yes,
That's a good man.
Is this the first time that you've seen this team? They really looked like they knew each other. Like there was a little bit more familiarity there. I mean, a lot of different people contributed. Did you see more of that?
Well, I think, and it's what we're striving for is the improvement every day. And along with that goes the consistency. And the only way you could be consistent is to practice the same way, build the same habits, learn from each game, learn from each practice, learn from each film session. And if we do that, we'll keep growing. And I think the important thing is to try to establish a fight for in every possession, to win the possession, no matter what happens, and then play to win. And so if we're doing all those things, we'll get better. And we have to understand what goes into winning. And you do that day after day, and you have to be consistent with your effort, your approach, how you think, how you see, being down and ready. And you have to be able to see things. And if you see things and you can communicate, and whether that be, with your eyes or, certainly with verbally, that goes along. And if you see things early, you're going to be a lot quicker. And I thought we were starting to see things a lot faster. Good, and I thought he played a great game without, he didn't have a great rhythm shooting the ball, but he did other things that played, 9 assists, no turnovers, create easy baskets, play from a lead. Just, some nights you may not shoot well, but there's a lot of other things you could do in a game to help your team win. And I thought he did that. So, I think, and that's what I'm saying, you put the team first. And so the recognition of they were loaded up pretty good on him, and try to find Carl. Carl was the open man. And, and it wasn't just Carl and Jalen. There were people screening for him and helping him to get open. So I think it's everybody working together to create good shots and recognizing who has a hot hand and then try to take advantage of it that way.
What do you like with Tyler Kolek in that second unit again? 8 points, 4 rebounds. What does he bring to
Just, each day he gets better. He's got a great feel for the game. And he's a worker, and he's learning the league. And I think he'll get better and better at understanding, what's happening with the defenses. And then also as he becomes more familiar with the people that he's guarding and the teams. And I think each time out, you can see his confidence growing. We have a lot of confidence in him. And I see it every day. And usually it starts in practice. When you practice well, you usually play well.
Talk about pace.
I'm sorry.
When you talk about pace, are you more emphasizing trying to get to your sets earlier, or are you trying to
Both. And as many fast breaks as we can get. But we're talking about not only that, but also in the half court, it's a lot more physical. And so I think, with the physicality of the game, if you walk it up, now it's easier to grab and hold. But if we're moving quickly and we're cutting and we cut with force and we screen hard, then it opens up other things, and we can drive off a cutter's back, and we can get paint touches and all the things that we want to get to generate all the shots that we want to get. Yep, thank you.
The offense was just fantastic tonight. We mentioned the 35 assists, but also the coach talking about pace. Knicks outscored the Bucks in terms of fast break points 19-8. Don't always see that with the Knicks, but tonight they played with a lot more pace than they normally do.
When they're as good of an offensive efficiency team as they are, the more possessions, the more advantage they'll have to win basketball games. So that's what Tom Thibodeau is referring to. We need to get up and down the floor, take quicker shots, not bad shots. You want to take good shots, but the more possessions in a game, the more advantage they're going to have to stretch out and really extend away from teams. They started early, and they just continued to step on the throat of the Milwaukee Bucks the whole entire game. Never let them back into the game. It was an impressive wire-to-wire win.
Welcome back, everyone. The Knicks beat the Bucks 116-94. One of the keys, 13 first-quarter points for Karl Anthony Towns. Here's Alan Hahn now with Josh Hart.
It was great for us. Set the tone, and we were able to build off of it.
The job that OG did guarding Giannis, obviously it takes a team to guard him. What did you see that OG was able to do that helped you guys be successful?
Yeah, I mean, he was good. He was physical. I mean, that's all you can really ask for. He's a great player. So just him being able to be physical, make shots tough for him was big.
Have you learned anything about Cat since playing with him now the last 3 weeks? I didn't know if you guys had a relationship before then, but anything that kind of strikes you seeing him and playing with him every day?
Anything I learned? I don't think he really likes being called meow. So I've kind of learned that. So I haven't called him that in a while. But besides that, he's a very team-oriented player. He's a team-first guy. He's willing to sacrifice. Obviously when you have one of your guys, one of your engines that have accountability like that and is willing to sacrifice, it's obviously great, and it trickles down.
Towns tonight, Wally from downtown, 4 of 8 this year from downtown. He's 20 for 36.
Impressive.
Guy's 7 feet. He's 20 for 36 from 3.
Better not call him meow. That's for sure.
Back in the locker room we go. Here's Allen now with OG Anunoby.
What is the challenge of guarding Giannis?
He's a great player, so you try to make it as hard as possible. You know he's going to score. He's going to do some amazing things, but just stay with it and try to help the team win.
What was your mentality going into this matchup with him, with all the things you just said, knowing what's coming, and you still have to kind of every single possession body up on him?
Just make it as difficult as possible. Try to meet him early, be physical. Try to make him as uncomfortable as possible and make it as tough as possible, like every shot attempt outside the paint, and then just try to wall up without fouling.
I mean, he just bounces like in 2 seconds and dunks it. Like, how do you probably have to take a breath, but still, how do you just forget that on the next possession? Like, that has to be the most intimidating thing.
No, not really. He's been doing that for how many years? Yeah. It's amazing how he plays, but just move on to the next play. Just try to get a stop the next time.
What has worked for this team offensively? Because it really does feel like chemistry just continues to build. The ball movement today, 35 assists, is really something special.
Just each and every game, it's getting better and better. We know it's a long season, so we want to keep getting better as the season goes on and then peak at the end of the season into the playoffs.
So Anunoby with 24 points, and when Antetokounmpo 24 points. When you hold a Greek Freak to 24 points, you've held him in check.
He did a really good job, and that's what you have to do with superstars and top players in the league. Make them work to get their points. And Anunoby has the type of physical tools that can match up with Antetokounmpo. You're not going to stop him, like OG said, but every possession, you have to make it hard. You have to make him work to get his points. You can't give stars easy baskets. And I think the Knicks did a good job of doing that with both Damian Lillard and Giannis tonight.
All right, so Anunoby doing his job on defense as always, and on offense, all the Knicks starters in double figures, including Anunoby, went for 14, 4 of 12 from the floor. Jalen Brunson's post-game comments coming up. Next up for the Knicks at the Pacers Sunday. Note the start time. Pre-game 4:30, game at 5. Tonight, Knicks beat the Bucks. Before tonight, all year combined, Jalen Brunson had assisted on 9 Karl Anthony Towns baskets. Tonight, he assisted on 6 Karl Anthony Towns baskets. Here's Alan Hahn with the Knicks captain in the locker room.
What have you learned so far playing with Cat?
That he's a great player.
Easy to find these days also in the offense?
Definitely. Makes the game very easy for everyone on the court. And so, I mean, it's been amazing having him here.
Has it taken a couple games, though, to know where he is? Because it seemed like there's other players that you've been playing with that you know where they're going to be. With him, did it take a few games to realize where he'll be?
It's going to take time to be just, like, cohesive like how we were at the end of the year last year. I mean, this is kind of a different team. And so for us, we got to continue to gel every single day and just keep learning.
When you said it's a different team, is it a different approach for you because of that, like compared to what you were last year in this offense to what this year might ask from you?
My mentality stays the same, approach stays the same, and the game's just going to tell you what to do.
What did you think of your game today? What did you think of your game today, how you played?
I mean, I haven't been satisfied individually with how I've been playing, but I mean, we win, and that's all I care about, and we just move on from there.
Brunson 6 of 14 from the floor, but did have 9 assists and no turnovers. We'll wrap things up when we come back right after this. Wrapping up the Knicks postgame show. We'll see on Sunday the Knicks taking on the Pacers on the road. Pre-game at 4:30, tip-off at 5. You can stream our coverage on MSG Plus now in the Gotham Sports app.